Hello from the Canon Academy Homeschool, and today I'm going to go over my TBR list. Now this book I am actually reading. It's The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart. I'm actually revisiting it. I read it years ago, and my son loaned me his copy and the other 3 books in the series. In case you aren't familiar with this, it starts with Merlin as a child and everything he goes through before he becomes the Merlin we know in the King Arthur legends. It's a very good book, and I highly recommend it. It's a very easy read. This book is by one of my favorite homeschooling authors, Linda Dobson, The Ultimate Book of Homeschooling Ideas. There are over 500. I like this book so much, and I haven't actually sat and read it thoroughly. I'm going through it, and I'm looking at all the ideas, and I was jotting them down, and I thought, oh my gosh, I just want to own this book so that I can go through and highlight it and turn down my corners and put markers in it, which I kind of have, but this is a library copy, so I can't leave it like that forever. It's fantastic. It has all sorts of ideas, how to create maps based on favorite stories like Treasure Island and The Wizard of Oz, making letters out of French fries as an alphabet learning aid. You can explore architecture by building igloos, castles, and bridges with sugar cubes and icing, which we have tried to build the igloos before with sugar cubes and icing years ago. So that's pretty cool. Review spelling words by writing them on the sidewalk with chalk, and a lot of other things. Great book. It is definitely a keeper. The next book that I have fallen in love with is Homeschool for Dummies, and it is by Jennifer Kaufeld. I will be noting these down in the descriptions when I publish. But this book, even though I am a veteran homeschooler, it not only has ideas that are new to me, it has some that I meant to do and somehow got away from me over the years and things like that, and just kind of renewed those interests and things. So this is a great book too. It's definitely a keeper. Again, this is just from skimming them, so once I go through them more thoroughly, I will come back and give reviews. And because I have so many books here at the moment, I will probably break those reviews up into different parts. This is about the time of year where homeschoolers start having a rough time keeping the kids interested and things like that. Curriculums aren't working out as well. Everybody's frustrated and burnt out. So I thought I would get this. When Homeschooling Gets Tough, Practical Advice to Stay on Course by Diana Johnson. And she goes through all that, including accepting yourself and your homeschool style, controlling your curriculum quest, developing realistic goals and schedules, and dealing with difficult children. So I have not looked at this yet. I will, and it's a skinny book. It shouldn't take too long to get through. I will jot down helpful things that might work for me and my homeschoolers, and I will let you know how that goes. Then I picked up the book, The Imperfect Homeschooler's Guide to Homeschooling by Barbara Frank, and I am hoping that this will also talk about it. I know it does cover, like, if you have children with disabilities, testing, covering the basics, overcoming obstacles to homeschooling, something I always like to brush up on every now and then. So it looks like it might be a pretty good book. This one is a little thick. I'm not real big on super thick books, but if I take my time going through it, I might be able to do that. Everything you need to know about homeschooling, a comprehensive, easy-to-use guide for the journey from early learning through graduation. by Lea Ann Garfias. I hope I said her last name right. Anyway, it also looks promising. It answers a lot of questions a homeschooler should think about, or people when they're first starting out, like should they homeschool their kids, how do they get started, what books should they buy, what should they expect in the first day, the first year, what do I teach in each subject at each age, how to figure out their children's learning style, how to keep their kids on track and know if they are on track, special needs, any dangers to homeschooling and how to avoid them. And in this case, she also talks about how you can draw your family closer to God and to one another through the homeschool experience. Now, I am a Christian, but I believe in secular education, so some of that I might use, I might not use, everything, but I will skim through it. Now, this one's going to be a little more challenging. It has smaller print, which drives me absolutely crazy at my age, but I will still do what I can to get through this and let you know what I think. The next book I got, because I had typed up forest school and how to teach the forest way and things like that, looking for books like that, just to see what it pertained to. And this book popped up, and I thought, oh, it sounds interesting. The Lost Art of Reading Nature's Signs. Use outdoor clues to find your way, predict the weather, locate water, track animals, and other forgotten skills, by Tristan Gooley. Now, I have skimmed it, just like semi-skimmed it, and it does sound pretty good. And it's totally about your journey outside. It says the roots of the tree indicate the sun's direction. The Big Dipper tells the time. A passing butterfly hints at the weather. A sand dune reveals prevailing wind. The scent of cinnamon suggests altitude. A budding flower points south. To help you understand nature as he does, Gooley shares more than 850 tips for forecasting, tracking, and more gathered from decades spent walking the landscape around his home and around the world. He says, whether you're walking in the country or city, along a coastline or by night, this is the ultimate resource on what land, sun, moon, stars, plants, animals, and clouds can reveal if you only know where to look. It does seem really interesting from what I've seen at a glance. However, I do not have the time, and this is like microscopic print, to do this. But I am going to try to muddle through it, at least somewhat, and give you a little bit more idea what it entails. I think it's great for people who are into sustainability, living off the land. Maybe you live in the woods and you want to learn more about it. Maybe you have a semi-wooded lot. Things like that. You want to know how to survive. It's great. Forest School and Outdoor Learning in the Early Years by Sara Knight. Again, I had heard about forest schooling, and I was like, what is this? It says outdoor learning continues to play an essential role in early years education, and this new edition of the best-selling book explores how the forest school approach can be easily and effectively incorporated into the early years. There's a new chapter on working with parents, greater coverage on the 0 to 2 age, new case studies to aid learning, coverage of national approaches to forest school. So I'm not really sure. I've heard that this is a former Waldorf. Here's a case study from a visit to Denmark. It says forest school happens over time. Nayland School offers forest school for 6 weeks of every term in the foundation stage. This can be up to a year in the early years class and a full year in the reception class. This means that unless children join the school later, each child will experience a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 36 weeks of forest school. So it's a case study, a wood on site. So it is outside learning, and apparently maybe they simplified it a little bit so that you know, like here is a table of what you could do week 1, school-based, the learning objectives and things like that. I'm not really sure that this will work for me and my homeschoolers, although they do live on a semi-wooded lot with lots of wildlife. Even though we're in the city, they have raccoons, rabbits, hawks, turkey vultures, raccoons, chipmunks, and there's been a fox or two seen, woodchucks and badgers. So I mean, it could work for them. Then I let the kids pick out some books, and we decided to get this one called You Can Draw Dinosaurs by Mateo Cerato. And it looks really cute. I think it's going to be promising, and we are going to try to use some of it here in the next week. Step by step, how to draw the dinosaurs. So, and they're all into dinosaurs, so this should be really cool, and I'll let you know how that works out. Then they picked Aaron Loves Apples and Pumpkins by P.D. Eastman. It's a step 1, step into reading book. It's written similar to the Dr. Seuss books, not necessarily rhyming, but I have seen that P.D. Eastman has had some similar. But as you notice, the words are big. There's only 1 or 2 sentences. So my 2 beginning readers that are reading at first grade level, kindergarten, first grade level, they should be able to read this. So it will be something they will read for their reading miles. Then they're into Dora and Diego. So here they are in Help the Dinosaur. It doesn't say who actually wrote this book. Bergen Sace, so 2 different people maybe. By Nickelodeon's Dora Diego. People are ready to read level 1. And again, we have the big helpful words. They have the pictures of the person or the animal in this case that they're talking about and things. So the 2 younger readers will be able to read it. Now, my other reader, she fluently reads. She understands 5th grade, but we're not going there because she's only 6. So I let her read at 2nd and 3rd grade level books. She will still go back and read this and probably read it to the boys, and then they will all talk about it and stuff. But then she also chose this one. I can read level 2 with some help. Rappy and his favorite things. Now she may or may not need help with this book. She knows most of these words, so I doubt she will need me to help at all. We are working on punctuation, so the fact that they're doing things like this where people are yelling and stuff like that will be helpful. We're also learning to know when to take a breath in a sentence, when to end the sentence before going to the next sentence, because she has a habit of, like here it says reading books or watching TV, drawing pictures. She would read it as reading books or watching TV, drawing pictures. So we're going to work on those things with her. So again, these last 3 books are ones they will read for their reading miles and stuff. So if you like this video, and I will again post the names and authors of these, I did find them at my public library, so that shouldn't be a problem for people. So if you like this and found it informative, please hit like and subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. It just notifies you when I make a video, and you can choose to watch it or not. So the next time that you see me as far as these books, I will be starting to give book reviews and everything. So until next time, goodbye from the Canon Academy Homeschool.